Here we go. Hey, everybody. We are back. This is the Feisty Aphrodite, and I'm Teralyn, and I'm here with Jess about sex, and we're gonna get some party started very soon. But first, before we do this, I think, what are we gonna talk about? Hot girl summer? Is that the deal? Which I don't
Yeah,
know much
we're just
about, so this will be a new topic for me too. But before we dive in, I do have to do a listener shout out, okay?
hmm
All right. So I'm thinking this is a closeted listener.
okay.
All right. I think, I'm not sure.
hmm
Anyway, this is our I won't even say his first name. He is our financial advisor and he gives my husband a whole lot of shit um for having me do these podcasts, but he'll text him and it'll be like, "Steve, you the man." So so thanks for listening, or at least thanks for looking at our social media stuff that we're
hmm
putting out there. So, and if you all are listening and you haven't already done so, please send us a comment, give us some show ideas, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we got to keep this rolling.
Right.
We are on a roll, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah, I had someone reach out to me after I posted on Instagram about us being in the top 100. And this was someone I knew in childhood. And he reached out to me and he's like, I love to see what you're doing. Um, but it sure is surprising from, knowing you as a kid
Yes.
because I was incredibly weird and incredibly shy. So for me to be, on a podcast talking about sex and, my experience dating and all this sort of shit and being in magazines and expert contributing to things, I don't think people ever saw that I would ever do anything like that.
It's funny because I was just saying this to Steve the other day. I said, I don't think I ever saw that I would get the type of media attention I've gotten or have a podcast that's doing so well,
hmm
or talking about sex like this. I didn't think I would ever see the day that I would do that because I was pretty rigid in high school. Extreme,
Mm-hmm.
very like straight laced, like stay inside the lines, rigidity. But I think, being a therapist for the better part of 15 years now
Right.
has loosened me up a little bit because you can't unhear stuff.
Mm.
You just
Nope.
you just can't.
Nope. Nope. You cannot do that. Yeah.
Like
Once it's out of the box, sometimes you cannot push it back in.
you can't. And
hmm
people will say like, I bet you've never heard this before. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably have. So
Yeah.
you
hmm
know,
hmm
some of the stuff. But anyway, we thank all of our listeners and supporters and old high school friends that have secretly reached out or not so secretly reached out. It's
hmm
pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
appreciate all that support.
hmm
So it's
hmm
great. This is
Yeah.
this this is a good time for it. And this allows both of us to kind of tap into this other side that's not so straight-laced as therapists.
Yeah. We don't want to be here as therapists. Like we just want to be here as ourselves. And I think that we're slowly doing that
Getting
more and
better.
more.
Yeah, we're getting better at it.
Hmm
It's hard to shed. And I think
Yeah.
doing it without video has been the most helpful thing for us.
Yeah, because I'm terribly vain. And so it would be like, what's my makeup look like? And then I'd be like, oh, you look really stupid. And then I would
What's
be
my
watching.
camera angle? What's my
Yep.
whatever? You can't
I'm
see my
like,
double chin on here.
right.
Hmm.
And I would get so distracted by that.
Hmm.
So we had to turn the video off because I'm so preoccupied
Oh,
with
we
myself.
didn't do it just because of you.
I know. I know.
We did it so that we could just have, because we have some fun telephone conversations, and this
Yeah.
feels a little bit more like that to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's why we
Yeah.
did.
So hot girl summer. Let's get back on that. Last year was supposed to be hot girl summer. But what the fuck? Like, no, I didn't experience a hot girl summer, that's for sure. Because I sequestered into my home while everyone went to the bars in Wisconsin. So COVID happened. So there wasn't much of a hot girl summer. I have my fingers crossed that we regain some sort of normalcy this summer. But TikTok is like making me buy things that I don't really need. And I think it's in preparation for hot girl summer.
Possibly.
So So I fell into a dark hole of like things I needed to get from TikTok.
I can't
a-
wait to hear this.
And I'm currently looking like a Dorito because I spray tanned myself, and
What?
and it's very streaky. I'm very orange. I'm not feeling hot girl summer. But I was like, hey, one day last week was warm and sunny, and I'm like, I'm feeling it. And
Oh
I'm
wait,
like,
hold on. I just need I gotta back this whole thing up because you actually spray tanned yourself,
yeah,
like in your house,
yeah, in my shower,
in your shower.
you close the door in the shower, and you just get naked and spray some orange shit all over
I
you.
can't even imagine like the areas that I would not spray, like not know that I missed some spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of missed spots that were revealed to me the next morning. Like they don't show up right away and say, "Hey, could you just buff this out?" No, it's like the next day, one leg is orange and one is still white, and there's a spot on your back that clearly you missed, and it was a real problem. TikTok lied to me. That's what they did.
So this was something that you bought from out from TikTok.
Well, I mean,
Like
I
they
bought it.
recommended it from
It
TikTok. Like this
it
is the best thing ever. TikTok, gotta
it
buy
was
it.
it was the best thing ever. Use this continuous spray bottle because it finally missed and blah blah blah. And I did all the things, and the prep is not. I mean, you got to prep a day in advance so your skin is moisturized and not crusty and falling off. And I did all this work, and I woke up the next day orange.
Wouldn't it have just been easier to go to a spray tan place?
Yes, yes, it would. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so clearly you were just looking for the entertainment value in this.
No, no, I want this to work so that I can
Oh.
just do this myself all the time. Um,
Oh, so you want to perfect this so you don't look as Dorito-ish and
yeah, I can't reveal myself in hot girl summer looking like this. So
reveal
I've
myself.
gotta find.
Wait, hold on. I'm like envisioning you like swinging open the doors and here I am. It's hot girl summer.
And there will
Like
be
a
no.
caged animal the whole time,
Yeah.
like those videos where like the animals are caged their whole lives and then
Mm-hmm.
they take them to the wild and they release them and they're
Mm-hmm.
like they don't know what to do, so they act all nuts.
Uh,
That's you. That's you.
yeah, I was just gonna say I am getting nuts. I am there. I'm very close. Like I go to Sam's Club once a week and I put on all my Chanel, and then I get there and I'm like, you people don't deserve my Chanel. You don't even notice me. And I'm just like, I need something in my life. So I'm like, I'm gonna get ready for hot girl summer, and it's gonna be wonderful. And I'm gonna put this tan on. I'm gonna be goddess like. And no, I look like a Dorito. I don't feel like a goddess. I thank God
Well,
I'm
number
not.
one, you're hanging out at Sam's Club. You should at least be at Costco or Target. Come on.
I know, I know, I
Pick your
know.
audience. You got to pick your audience a little better than that.
I've been to all those places, and they also don't care about my Chanel. Like no one notices me. It's like I'm invisible.
I don't think anybody notices anybody anymore.
I need to be seen like that wild animal coming out of that cage where they don't know what they're doing, and they're nuts. I'm nuts. I'm clearly nuts.
You need to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearly wearing a mask is not allowing you to be seen.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, seriously, I don't think anybody is seen anymore. I feel like I'm invisible wherever I go because all we are is a bunch of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like eyes. And not only eyes, but like suspicious eyes. Like everyone's looking at everybody else in a very suspicious way. Or maybe it just looks like that because all you can see is their eyes. I don't know.
I know sometimes I feel this need to like announce myself, like I'm smiling at you.
Yes.
uh,
Oh my God.
I just saw you drop that, and I'm smiling at you.
I feel like you need an entourage of some sort. Like, here she comes. Shh, she's coming. She's coming. Pipe down. she's she's announcing herself right now. It's the big reveal. It's the big reveal. Oh my
And then a Dorito comes
god.
wearing mom jeans. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I've
Oh
got
my
I,
gosh.
I've got my hair parted down the middle to stay relevant. Yeah.
I tried. I did. I did it once and I was like, wow. And then I'm like, I've actually had my hair parted on the side since high school.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, no, actually, I take that back. I think it was my freshman year of college is when my hair was parted. In high school, it was just too, large to be parted. Like, there weren't really
Okay.
parts. There was just kind of like, just kind of stuck up. So,
Ah.
yeah. But college, and I'm like, I've had this hair part since college.
Wow.
So, yeah. Like, not the hairstyle necessarily, just
Thank
the
goodness.
what? Why? You have no idea who you're dealing with over here. None. But I was like, wow, I've had this hair part for a long time. And I'm like, parted it down the middle just to see. And I'm like, well, this is why. Because I have a colic that won't even
Ah.
allow that to happen. And I'm like, wow, this is why, because I look ridiculous with this
Mm.
middle hair. You actually
Mhm.
parted your hair down the middle?
Yep.
Have you been doing it?
Yep. I am not ready to be old, so I'm going to cling on to this youth as long as possible.
Oh
I
my
feel
gosh.
like my birthday's coming up, so I feel
Mhm.
like I should be able to go to a store and return last year. Like, I'm not going to increase my number because I didn't do anything, and this is not fair for me to have wasted one of my vital years in the end of my 30s on a COVID year, and now I've got another quarantine birthday, and I'm just like, this is not right. This is not right. So, I will cling onto the trends as much as possible until I,
Oh yeah, you've had two COVID birthdays.
yeah, mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks. I've only had one.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
mm-hmm. That
Well, if anyone's
that's why I'm nearly caged animal, like,
right.
crazy. I'm like, oh, like I don't know about you, but I get to a point in time where I'm just like, I need to do something or I'm going to do something crazy. And sometimes it's like I want to dye my hair brown and change my name and relocate, or, like, I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I've got that feeling like I'm getting cabin fever, but
Like
it's combined with COVID fever. Then it's combined with getting too fucking old. And it's
unsettled. That is unsettled.
And my child's going off to college, bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to like date and shit, and it's really hard to do during COVID and this time of our lives. So I am feeling a little bit crazy. Mm,
I can't even imagine. Well, I mean, so there was this guy on TV and he is retiring. So he is a news anchor, a
mhm.
local news anchor. And he's retiring and he was on this morning and he said he's 59 and a half. And so Steve is going to be 58. So a year and a half when he'd be this guy's age.
Mhm.
And they asked him, they said, well, what are you going to do in your retirement? And he said, oh, I'm up for anything. Okay. He goes, ballroom dancing, learning something new. I'm going to travel around and see all the national parks that I can possibly see and, just living life and all this stuff. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, damn, I'm just tired. Like, I was like, that seems like a lot of work. you,
Mhm.
you know, but I think that I get to feel this way when I start feeling kind of the same way as you, only instead of, I need to do something crazy and but I'm
Mhm.
like, I need to take a nap for 6 years. You know, that's where I go. Like I just need a nap. I need a
Mhm.
long, long winter nap,
Mhm.
But I do get a little edgy and I do get ideas about things that I would like to do, in my life and
Yeah.
like to see and
Mhm.
experience and that kind of stuff. Um, I'm not as much about like I'm going to dye my hair blonde because I know that
Mhm.
that would turn out horribly bad.
Right.
That would just be like orange, probably. I'd look like a Dorito head. I would match your Dorito body
Oh,
with
perfect.
my
Yeah.
Cheeto head. It would probably look more like a puffed Cheeto. Anyway, it looked like that. So, but I think a lot about like the next phase of my life too,
Mm-hmm.
like how I want that to look and feel and do and be and all that. And so I saw this thing on TV that was like, oh my God. So they said the average lifespan is like 78. And I don't know if that's a male or female.
Okay.
Anyway, the average lifespan is 78. The average retirement age is 67.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
You only get
11
10
years.
fucking years. Yeah.
Exactly. And I thought to myself, and this is all just this morning, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? What
Mm-hmm.
are we doing? Like we
Right.
we work so hard for maybe 10 years of not working that hard.
Right.
So hot girl summer, huh? Maybe I have to be. So, what I would like to hear from our listeners is give me some ideas because, like, I'm old. Give
Mm.
me some ideas of what a hot girl summer could look like for someone who's 52.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, I I'm just like I'm pressing into 39. So I've got 1 year left of my 30s. So I want to work on feeling at my healthiest.
Mm-hmm.
So I've started working out. It's been 2 workouts that I've done. I'm really wondering why I'm not seeing any changes.
You've done two. Okay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
I'm very sore.
I ate a salad yesterday. I don't know why I haven't dropped 20 pounds.
Yeah, I'm also wondering about that.
Yeah.
I'm working on that peach booty. I want to travel more, and I think some opportunities will present themselves, and I'll take advantage of that. Whether that's penis fruze or, I'll be back down in Mexico or something like that. But for me, hot girl summer means I want to work less. I want to connect with people more, and that might be dating, that might be friends. And I also want to like feel really good about my relationship with my body. And I think it's been really bad this year because I'm staring into a screen all the
Camera.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my own psychiatrist said my dysmorphia is at an all-time high right now.
Because
Um,
of that.
yeah, so I need to lean away from work so much. And you share about those statistics. I think it makes sense. Like, let's stop living a life where all we do is work, because we only got this one life to live, and we have no guarantees really if we get to even that 78.
Exactly.
um yeah, so for me, hot girl of summer is like I just want to lean into fun and pleasure and freedom. It doesn't mean like fuck girl summer. Like, I think that some people experience that saying or that song in that way, like you're just going to
Hmm.
go and increase your body count.
Right.
Yeah, my daughter is like, I want hot girl summer, and she also wants to feel good about herself. And um I think that there was like she wanted to date a ton.
Hmm.
Whether that is reality or not, I have no idea. But for everyone at their own set, where they are in life, I think really depends. So you could have a hot girl summer and be 70. You could have a hot girl summer and be 20. You could have a hot girl summer and be, late 30s.
Hmm.
It is whatever you want it to be.
Right. You have a really interesting summer coming because you're pretty young to be able to go into this next transition of your life being
Hmm.
without having your daughter home. So
Right.
that's pretty interesting in and of itself. I mean, it took me till this year to have no kids at home.
Hmm.
Um, as you were talking, I was thinking about when I turned 40. When I turned 40, I loved my 40s.
Mm.
40s were freeing. Like 40s were freedom beyond freedom for me. And I think, I mean, I paid close attention to being a lot more physically healthy and things like
Hmm.
that. But I was really a lot more I guess emotionally healthy, right?
Mm.
Mindset healthy. Like I was able to let go of a lot of shitty things that I would say to myself or the worry about what everyone else is thinking. Like 40s rocked. So
Mm.
I'm looking forward to you being in your 40s because my 30s sucked wind. Like
Okay.
they were horrible. I hated my 30s, but my 40s were good. My 50s this last year I think has been a very uh, weird year. I
Mm-hmm.
guess, I mean, for everybody, but I keep telling everybody, and I'm telling myself this too, if we haven't learned anything over this past year,
Right.
and if we haven't changed anything, then what is the goddamn point? Why did we
Right.
all go through this?
Right.
Just to, and I'm seeing this like people want to lockstep right back into where they were before this all happened last year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I see this every day and I'm like, why? And worse yet, people want me to lockstep right back into how it was before. And I'm like, oh,
No.
no,
Mm-hmm.
no way. I've learned too much about setting healthier boundaries for myself with work and things like that for me to lockstep right back into that.
Right.
So, I would like Hot Girl Summer to just be again, not being so worried about my body, not being so
Mm-hmm.
worried about things like that. But I will tell you, this last year was hard for me too. I don't really mind the camera part of stuff. I don't really
Sure.
mind that at all. Um, but I mean, the sedentary piece of things up until probably October, this past October,
Mm-hmm.
took a big toll. Like I gained more weight than I ever wanted to believe that I would
Mm.
gain. And
Right.
that's very difficult moving into hot girl summer,
Yeah.
because that's going to require less clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And wearing jeans or pants or
Right.
something that I haven't worn and swimsuits,
Yeah. Oh,
those are
swimsuits.
always tough. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what, I've always had problems with that. But, I think hot girl summer could be more of like a just a casual mindset about things, a little bit looser
Right.
for me.
Yeah. And that's what summer usually is for me is
Mhm.
I'm not a winter person, so it's really hard for me to experience 6 months out of my life where I really don't like the area.
It's very
um,
hard.
yeah. And so summer is usually like, oh, I get to really let loose and I feel more myself in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And even when I went to Mexico for that little bit in the end of January, like I saved my outfits up. Like I was just talking to someone, a guy I had a video chat with the other day, and I was saying like my outfit either is dark and
Mhm.
depressing, which is what I wear here,
Yeah. Yeah.
or it's gorgeous and resort wear, which is like my other life, which is vacation life. And
There's gotta be
I
a medium ground in there somewhere.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, I have this feeling like I'm about to do something big and crazy. I've been looking at like buying a house in Mexico, and I'm like, I got to be careful because if I get impulsive, I could end up doing that.
Yes.
And I'm at a point of like not sure where I'm headed and what I'm doing. I have to have a change, and there's big changes coming. So Hot Girl Summer is like a huge evolution for me.
I like it. I think I'm gonna latch on to the idea of hot girl summer a little
Mhm.
bit just because I need to have a little bit of spice.
Mhm.
Add a little bit of spice on
Ooh, I like it
TikTok. Yes.
spicy. Mhm.
Yes. And what was the other one? What did they say I'm doing hot girl shit? Like
I'm just Yep.
what's the start of that?
Um,
Da, 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 doing hot girl shit. Whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
that's
I
going
don't
around.
Yeah.
That's going around TikTok too, and I
Mhm.
I think it's funny, but it's actually just a reminder that there's so much that we can do that it is freeing and fun. But
Right.
this sounds so cliche, but it really does have to start with how you think about yourself,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know? And you had said this a long time ago, something about like you deserve pleasure. And I have to tell you, like I say that to myself all the time
Mhm.
in a variety of circumstances. Like I say that to myself, like I deserve pleasure. I deserve
Mhm.
peace. I deserve boundaries. I deserve like I'm deserving of these things, but I actually use that I deserve pleasure quite a lot.
Oh, I love
And
it.
mhm. And it's true because not everything I put in my body is pleasure,
Mhm.
from food or thoughts
Right.
or whatever. So
Right.
I've been using that quite a lot. So it makes a lot of sense to move into hot girl summer like that.
Yeah.
So
You
and
just
I need to be a little bit more daring with what I'm wearing in the summer because I feel like I look like a schlub half the time,
Mhm.
especially this past year. Like seriously, I haven't worn a bra in a year. For and now I'm questioning why would I ever want to again?
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
I can get away with it though. I just put a sweater on over and I can get away with that. But
I
I don't think I can get away with that in the summer.
I don't know how, like, I'm too sensitive skin wise to not wear a bra. And if a sweater touched my nipples, it would irritate me all day long. It's all I would think about. And I would never get anything done. I would feel bad for any of my patients that I saw because I would be like, oh God, I'm going to die from this rubbing here.
Either that or you're
Um,
going to stimulate yourself all day long and eventually lactate.
yeah, I'm going to lactate.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I haven't seemed to have that problem.
Well, good. Well, clearly, otherwise the next day you'd be like, I ain't fucking doing that again. I
Exactly.
lactated. I fucking lactated.
Anybody have that problem? You haven't worn a bra and you kind of get the rubbing and then you lactated and you're like, what the hell just happened? I I know it's a thing. It
I
can be a thing.
I don't I guess I would have to look into that because how do you make milk if you don't have
They
something
do.
to feed?
No, honestly, like nipple stimulation can help a woman lactate. That's what they
Mhm.
do. And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's fascinating. I don't know. That's not
Mhm.
going to be part of my hot girl summer plan though.
I was just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna like
Learning
tr-
to lactate. Sounds like a bad plan. A really bad one.
sure there's a YouTube on how to do that.
Now that we've said it out loud, you're going to get ads for like
how, how to
breast
lactate.
breast pumps and stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
goody.
summer of lactation. It's Jess and Terry's summer of
That's
lactation.
the
Yeah.
opposite of hot girl summer
It
is
truly
a
is.
booby pump. Yeah.
It truly is. Well, we're rolling into the end of all this, and I think it's good to start looking ahead, and it's
Mhm.
exciting to look ahead. And don't worry, I will stop you from buying that house in Mexico.
Are you sure? Or are you just gonna
Yeah,
end up there with me?
probably that. I'll silently be encouraging you to do it. Be like, are you
Right?
sure you want that one? Because I found another one that you might actually like instead.
Oh my God, I love it.
Well, I will say, I mean, one of the most freeing things that Steve and I did just before the pandemic was buying a place down in Florida. And
Mhm.
that, without that this past year, I don't even know. I don't even know because I probably spent I would say in the last year and a half, a couple of months down there,
Mhm.
and that's been really great. So
Yeah.
I've been I guess that's my hot girl summer.
You have a hot girl summer, you just didn't know it.
Maybe I need to embrace it a little bit differently. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like in not so much of a caring fashion,
Mhm.
So I'm gonna embrace it more. That's what I need. But 40s were awesome. I'm excited for you for 40 because it was a game changer.
Mm.
50s, mm, 60, man.
Ugh.
I know,
Oh.
right? Exactly. So I have a few more years, so I better start rocking it out while I can.
I always say you're only as old as your forehead, and with Botox, I'm not very old at all.
I've never done Botox. I haven't done any of that stuff.
Shoot me up with it. Come on now.
Just shoot my face up. Well, if I come back from Florida and I've got a smooth forehead and no crow's feet, you know what I've been doing.
Mhm.
Trying to capture time.
Yep.
That's what it's about. All right. Well, we would love to get your feedback, anyone who's listening on Hot
Mhm.
Girl Summer and what your plans are for Hot Girl Summer. So I would love to hear that. Some ideas that you might have, no matter your age or stage of life. That would be exciting.
Mhm.
And if it involves hot sex, let us know.
We want to know.
We definitely want to know that
A-
stuff.
And if you're in Charleston and you get some penis rosé, send us a picture.
Please,
Yeah.
again, if you know any weird places that we should absolutely come to and do a
Mhm.
live podcast, let us know.
Oh, that would be so fun.
That would be really fun.
Mhm.
I know now that I think locally here, the flights to Nashville, I've never been to Nashville.
Mm,
There's our yeah. So could be exciting. Anybody in Nashville want to help us out, find a cool place to podcast from? There we go.
right.
Hmm. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, make sure you follow us, subscribe, all that sort of Yahoo. Like our stuff so that we continue to be seen by people and stay feisty.
You bet. And make sure if you see our stuff come across social media that you go ahead and press like. It's okay. It's okay. We
Right.
want you to listen and like our shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.